Hi, okay, I'm going to do an unboxing and first impressions and a little demonstration for the Zhiyun Crane 3 lab. I had to look up how to say Zhiyun, and I don't know what the lab stands for. Like laboratory, Labrador. Here we go. First off, I'll take the box out the box. Cool, so it's like a polyester hard case thing, so nice and light, but it still feels pretty sturdy. I drop things a lot, so that's good. Cool, so opening it up inside, we've got kind of the basic kit and the basic bits of the gimbal in here, but we also got lots of holes for accessories and things if you want to buy bolt-ons. In the box we've got the main gimbal, which we'll come to in a bit. Smaller things, little lens cloth, never have too many of those. You've got your battery charger for the 3 batteries, 2 USB slots, which apparently means you can charge the batteries faster if you kind of double up on those USB-C cables, so potentially quite handy. And then you have 3 of the special batteries for the gimbal. So for the gimbal itself, you've got the handy tripod that turns into your holder. So I'm just going to lay that out now. And then you've got the main unit itself, which kind of folds down and locks into this, you know, more portable structure. So that's pretty handy. So let's take the tripod on. Cool, so the last 3 things, you've got this magical box of cables. You've got all sorts of cables for connecting to different cameras and different systems, as well as your USB-C for your battery charger as well. So that's quite handy. It's quite cool that you get all of the cables straight out of the box and you don't have to worry about ordering them separately, or if you change camera, having to get new kit in. So that's a really nice touch in this cool little case. Then you have the camera plate with the lens support built onto that. That's quite nice. And last but not least, you've got the quick start guide. There's lots of bits online for this, which is really good. So the full manual is online, as well as the compatibility charts and things like that, which tell you which cables you need for your camera and what firmware and stuff like that you might need to get this thing working with. Cool, so I'm going to take the box away and just going to have a play with the actual unit itself. So let me take this stuff out. Pop the box on the ground. So, we don't need that charger. Battery compartment is here, and it just kind of slides and clips off. Cool, so that's in there. And then it's got these really handy locks built into the motors. So each motor's got its own individual lock, which means you can lock it in place when you're doing stuff like mounting the camera, or if you've got it on and you just kind of wanted to have a break and you don't want it swinging around, and for storage as well, to kind of keep it in the box, so it's not nice and loose. So that's a really handy function, I think. So if we kind of unlock it and get it in like a camera ready position, like that, pretty simple. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a quick demo with the A7 Mark III and a 50mm lens. So it's not a particularly big lens. I'm actually going to take the lens support off for this one because the lens doesn't reach the end. The camera hopefully slides on nice and smooth. Smoothish. smoothish. You could probably adjust that. And then you kind of, I guess you kind of balance the individual axis. I mean, that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. We can work with that. There we go. Adjust that one a little bit. A bit more. Yeah. Not perfect, but I'd probably do for, there we go, that's better. If we fire it up now the camera's on. It's awake. Great. Seems to be alive. Feels nice. It seems to be, it's obviously a lot heavier than the other ones. So that second stick really does just mean you can share the load a little bit more. You know, kind of wobbling sort of thing. The weight's nice though. You kind of, I think it's going to help the motion be a bit smoother and stuff like that. And the tripod's super handy. Yeah, it's good. It feels solid, feels comfy. I love those locks that allow you to just kind of lock it off. So I'm going to put the camera down. So you probably want to take your strap off. And turn the gimbal off. Oh yeah, if they just lock. I don't have to worry about my camera kind of moving around or flopping around or anything like that. And then I can just flick the switches, turn it on, and I'm good to go. I'm just going to do a quick run of the camera control system because it takes a little while to get used to, but once you do, it's really good, really handy. So in your little case, you'll have a selection of cables. Best thing to do, as opposed to guess, which is what I did the first time, is if you go on the website, there's loads of information about which cables you need to connect which cameras to your control system. So you'll need a HDMI and the camera control cable. They basically go in these two little units on the side of here, and then into the corresponding bits on the side of the gimbal. Side of the camera, sorry. So we're all plugged in. Fingers crossed this is going to work. So we turn the gimbal on first after I unlock the motors. Gimbal on first. Okay, she's awake. So then we flip the camera on. And what we should be able to do is, so you control the aperture, ISO, shutter speed using this wheel here, and you can also trigger the camera itself with the button on the back. So that's pretty handy. One thing I noticed is that there's a few things you have to change inside the camera itself. So for the Sony A7III people like me, just a couple of settings. Under setup for USB connection, you want to set that to PC remote, which allows it to be controlled by this cable here. Then under PC remote settings, under still image save destination, you want that to be PC and camera. Remote control on, I don't actually know if you need that, I'm guessing you do, but yeah, remote control on under setup 3, and HDMI settings also under setup 3. HDMI resolution I've just set to 1080p. I guess you can leave it on also, but this is the way it's worked for me. And then on HDMI info display, turn that to off. You can leave it on, but if you leave it on when you plug the cable in, your screen on here will go off and you'll only have the monitor to deal with. So if you do need to solve any problems and you can't see it on there, you're kind of a bit stuck. Again, if you go online, there's loads of specific information about each camera on how to do that. And set your camera to manual mode as well, not video mode. You guys probably know that already, you're not an idiot like me. But it just means you can control all the functions. The last thing, I guess, is the camera control through the phone. So the ZY Play app is the one you want. And you scroll through, find your device. It's pretty smart, finds it pretty much straight away. Yeah, it's pretty cool. A couple of seconds later, you're in. It connects via Wi-Fi and Bluetooth at the same time, I think. And then your display kind of comes up on your phone. If you're using the Sony, again, you probably already know this, but if you set your camera HDMI info to off, it means that you can still use the viewfinder or the LCD screen as well as this. So it allows you to, if you wanted to, say, have a focus puller on this or a director's monitor in effect, to be able to kind of use this the other side of the room while you're kind of concentrating on your screen. You can also get a phone holder, which kind of goes in this little slot here on the side. There, and then it comes out here, and your kind of phone adds a second monitor there. So I've got one of them on order. Yeah, the app's really cool. You've got kind of a good amount of functionality in that. You can control the gimbal itself, so you can see it kind of moving around and doing that. And can we get it to go up and down? Oh yeah. And it's pretty quick. It's pretty much instant live video feed, which is nice and handy. But yeah, final thoughts. Really, it's cool. It's nice. You've got lots of functionality. If you've got a zoom lens, you can kind of control it with the rocker here. You got by your right thumb, you've got the thumb controller to allow you to control the gimbal itself. You know, the up and down, or if you've set it, you can go left and right as well. And the gimbal mode switch here on the side. So everything's kind of in a logical place on here. And then you've got some more plugs at the front for focus and zoom control, so in case you can bolt some more stuff on. I imagine if you keep adding to this thing, it's going to start feeling pretty heavy, so if you've got one, you might want to go down the gym. But yeah, that's my initial impressions of the Crane 3. But really cool bit of kit. Can't wait to play with it. I'm going to play more with this than the Sony, so if you've got any questions or problems with it, feel free to get in touch, because I'm sure I'll figure some stuff out, and there'll be loads of stuff that I haven't figured out yet. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope this was useful.